The Universal Law of Correspondence.
Law of Correspondence. Long before the emergence of the new physics, many spiritually minded and artistic people understood the unity and wholeness of the universe. William Blake wrote, "To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour." The term metaphysics, or the larger context of physics, symbolizes the truth of the law of correspondence. The principles are laws of physics that explain the physical world, energy, light, vibration, and motion, have their corresponding principles in the etheric world or universe. The deep meaning of the law of correspondence is difficult for us to comprehend because our science and our world have been based on identifying the parts of systems or phenomena rather than looking at the whole and seeing interconnections and relationships. Only recently have we realized the need to reverse our basic paradigms and view of metaphysics. Willis Harman discusses the old mechanistic view of the universe as M1 physics, which is based on the belief that matter gives rise to mind. This view assumes that the basic material of the universe is matter and energy. Our consciousness emerges from matter such as the brain, and whatever we know must fit with our perceptions of the physical world. Later, we move to an M2 view of the world based on the dualism articulated in Descartes' separation of science to deal with the physical world, leaving the church to deal with the mind-spirit view of the world. This view assumes that two types of energies make up the universe, matter energy and mind-spirit. Within recent times, we have moved to M3 metaphysics, which reverses the original premise and says that mind gives rise to matter, since the basic energy of the universe is consciousness. First and foremost is universal consciousness, which also is called the golden liquid light, the God force, or the basic oneness of the universe. The second consciousness to be considered is the degree to which individuals can move to the mainstream of the universal consciousness. Each individual is unique with his or her own human beingness or essence. The essence of the individual determines his or her consciousness, and consciousness is the basis for the human mind. When we expand our minds, we acquire a higher spiritual consciousness. As we grow spiritually, we become one with the God force. This view of the world is supported further by our understanding that the world is holographic. A hologram is a photographic image that projects a three-dimensional image, which shows various views and images depending on the perspective. Contained in each small part of the whole is the whole itself. A holographic view of the world changes many of our views of reality. Some of these views, which also explain the law of correspondence, have been identified. Consciousness is the basic reality. Each of us has unique characteristics which constitute the basis of our essence. Our consciousness is expressed through our intentions of our values. We develop perceptions of the world around us, which is our way of imposing an order of regularity on this world. We tend to perceive the world in ways which are consistent with our expectations, beliefs, and past experiences. Thus, we create our own experiences. Everything is connected to everything else. Nothing in the universe exists separately or in isolation. Everything we do, say, or believe affects everything else immediately. When we behave in a positive, nurturing way, it has an effect not only on the environment around us, but also on the many complex planes of the universe, as discussed previously in the chapter on the law of divine oneness. Each piece contains the whole. Every cell within us contains intelligence and the whole pattern of our essence. We are beings with interacting systems which make up our wholeness. Similarly, we are part of others and of the world around us. There is a basic wisdom and knowledge within the universe which is beyond our physical reality. While there are many other implications of the holographic universe, each of them impresses upon us the degree to which we create our reality, and therefore must act responsibly. As more people gain this expanded consciousness and begin to live acknowledging responsibility for themselves and others, Earth moves closer to the fifth dimension. All this documents that our views and perceptions of the world are indeed changing. No longer can we see ourselves as separate, disconnected entities. Instead, we are maturing into a species that must understand that we are a part of a whole, finely tuned ecosystem, each part connected to and affecting the other parts. The law of correspondence is the key for understanding this connection. So let us read what El Morya has to say about this important principle. It is with great pleasure that I begin to explain the law of correspondence, the law that eludes many initiates interested in the path of oneness. This law, often referred to as the principle of as above, so below, so above, is the basis for understanding the interdimensional operations of the universe. The aspirant who strives to increase his or her understanding of the universal laws must integrate the knowledge that all planes of existence exist simultaneously, and that in this synchronicity all is motion. In examining the law of correspondence, it is important to understand three planes of existence. They are the physical, mental, and spiritual planes. These three planes comprise the basis for operations and govern the harmony and energy convergence of the soul wishing to bring heaven on earth. While there are many interdimensional levels existing within these three planes, all vibrating at different rates, for the purpose of this lesson, it is important to focus only on the three major divisions just described. The term correspondence, corresponding, implies that all things existing within these planes of existence, whether seen or unseen, exist in harmony or agreement with the all. There is only oneness, and this ideal is critical to absorb. Just as individuals cannot step out of this oneness, neither can any of the other elements found on these planes. Significant to this understanding is that all are truly in harmony one to another. Even though human beings perceive themselves to be limited to what they see and experience, this does not mean that they are separated from the larger picture or the macrocosm. Key to understanding the law of correspondence is to know that agreements have been made in universal mind, that all are in harmony with divine law. The universal mind is the force field or golden liquid light, called the God force. Humans have been created and placed on earth to learn this, and to become co-creators with this force field, which is the basis for creation. If humans remain separate, never seeing this connection, they will pass out of embodiment in a separated state of existence. If they open their minds to this knowledge and see the universe in a different light, by understanding that each individual is a part of this wondrous force field, then they are destined to move forward in time and become demigods. We smile at the term gods in exile, for it depicts the situation and frustration that we perceive humanity to be in today. The physical manifest world around is so strong that it keeps many in a state of unconsciousness. This state of mind is likened to that of the sleeping giant, who, when cloaked in the sleep state, is quiet and subdued. Awakened, the giant's potential can come forth to achieve great things. Magnificent deeds are destined to come forth from these sleeping giants in the seventh golden age. Those who awaken will usher in the new millennium for the children of the golden dawn. The law of correspondence is the law that holds the oneness together. As mentioned, its name is synonymous with the golden liquid light. Contained within this pulsating, vibrating field of endless energy is all that is and ever will be. It is the etheric or cosmic glue that holds everything together and connects the physical planes with the mental and spiritual ones. Knowing that all exists simultaneously in each moment of time-space means that the initiate has the power to affect any and all things in any moment of time. The reasons why many have not accomplished this thus far on their journeys are because, number one, they have not understood this law and consequently have not known that they could do so. And number two, humanity's will is weak. The mind, connected with the universal mind of the all, is the key to change and to creation. The strengthening of the mind comes from discipline and willpower. The strength of will comes from the heart. Individuals have been distracted by the physical manifest world, spending much of their time entertaining their five senses. Focusing attention on the outside has contributed to their forgetting the power within. Going within allows the initiate to connect the mind to other planes and dimensions of reality, for it is here that the soul connects with the all. When this connection is made, all power is returned. In the journey comes the awakening that all dimensional realities are connected. It is the wisest of souls who learns how to access these other realms. The physical plane vibrates at the lowest vibrational rate, while the plane of spirit vibrates at the highest. Within each plane are also subplanes of existence, but it is not necessary to describe that phenomena here. It is only significant to know. Let us use the thermometer as an example to explain these concepts and show how easy it is to visualize the law of correspondence at work. The thermometer registers numerical readings ranging from low to high. Nowhere are there markings which indicate absolute divisions separating one from another, such as hot or cold. Yet we are aware that all measurements are contained within, and each division has its own unique vibration or measurement, different one from another. The various different vibrations contained within the all exist simultaneously, like the variations within the thermometer. These range from the physical to the spiritual planes, for the purpose of this instruction. The difference between the thermometer and universal mind is that there are billions of unending variations within universal mind, whereas the thermometer registers a limited range. Yet every change of condition will affect the reading of the thermometer. What is significant about the law of correspondence is that all laws exist within this correspondence. Therefore, all is contained within it. One plane of existence is affected by another, and one plane affects another. All occur simultaneously. Consequently, all changes in one plane of existence affect the other planes as well. This includes thoughts, words, emotions, and actions. The celestial realms and angelic, devic, and elemental kingdoms are all interconnected with decisions humans make on earth. There is no escaping this. All are one, and all correspond to one another. This also applies to humanity's decisions and how they affect other people and the world. When the aspirant begins to realize this truth, the world takes on a new meaning. With this knowledge, power within the mind and heart begins to grow. This is the beauty of the understanding. This knowledge is destined to transform the world when initiates everywhere rise and begin to increase their individual light frequencies through the power of the inner journeys and the mind. Since light is the highest vibrational frequency known to humanity, it is reasonable to conclude that spirit is light. Since spirit is the creator with the power of manifestation, learn to illumine the mind and the heart with the light of the God force, dear ones. Work with this state of mind to further your understanding of the law of correspondence. Become that which you already are. Become one with your destiny. I am El Morya. I will work with any initiate who calls my name in the light of the most radiant one. I shall direct the attention of the soul to finding the corresponding path that shall enlighten your world. Ask and you shall receive. The time is now. Come forward out of exile and build heaven on earth. Adonai, in the light of the Most High, I am El Morya.